Hello everybody, it's Bubba Rob. How's it going? Good, I hope. Got the two thumbs going. I'm in the dump truck. Oh, ain't that a surprise? Anyways, I hope everybody's having a lovely day. I'm having a pretty good day myself. Actually a fantastic day. What am I saying? It's actually quite amazing. I gotta get to the barber shop and shave and stuff. Or my friend, she's gonna disown me. Anyways, oh, what is my topic of the day today? I'm going to give a short little talk about addiction and recovery. And, it's a response to a conversation I actually had with that friend yesterday on the phone. We were talking about the video I released, talking about the lady on meth in the pharmacy, and she's asked me a very valid question. She asked me, do you believe addiction can be caused by a doctor giving prescriptions to a patient? And I said, absolutely. Do I think the majority of them are? Probably not. And why this came out is a very good friend of hers, her daughter was in an accident. And I won't get into it because it's not really for me to say. But anyway, she was in a great deal of pain, and she became addicted to whoever the specialist, whoever was giving her these meds, probably opioids, I would imagine. And the young gal was put into a rehab program and by her mother, and she successfully completed it, and she's been clean for a year now, which is absolutely fantastic. I love hearing stories about that. I should say, I'm not a doctor, a therapist, but through my life, I have actually had quite a bit of experience with people going through 12-step programs, people from working at a correctional facility. In my own business, I gave people opportunities that were coming through their own addiction issues and whatever program they're in. Something that I believe I didn't pass judgment on, but I also have a very interesting opinion on it. And I'd have to say I'm a very big fan of Gabor Mate and what he talks about, people not getting the proper nurture growing up as early, I guess, as in the womb, right, all the way through. But I'm not going to get into stuff like that. I'm not qualified to do that. But what I want to say is, even when I was doing the carnivore thing and was on different podcasts and stuff and in the community, the one thing I kept trying to push that wasn't necessarily that popular, because people just want to fix. And what they don't want to do is try and fix the problem that give them the addiction. You see, when you're in recovery and you quit whatever substance it is, or actions, let's say if it's sex or alcohol or drugs or food or anything like that, that means you've quit that habit. But it doesn't necessarily mean you fix the problem that got you there. So, like for myself, I find that in my daily journey in life, it's extremely important for me, again, to study philosophy, stoicism, meditation now, I'm quite open with what I talk about because I want somebody to get something from it so they can improve their lives. But if there's something that's been lacking in your life since you were a child, I don't know really if you can get over it 100%. What I do believe, you can acquire the skills and understand through proper counseling or treatment or studying. It could be through your church if you like, that you can recognize those triggers before you go back. And when you're having issues, you can try and rectify those issues so that you don't go down that path again. So, I mean, really, are we all 100? Can we all be 100%? Probably not. Can we do better? Yes. I remember I was in this Wounded Warriors program, and I had a fellow in there ask me, because I admitted to working on this stuff for a long, long time, and I don't know if I won't say who it is, so I believe it's safe to talk about it. But he asked me, is there a cure? Because there's a saying, I forget what the saying was, but basically you can recover and all these things. And he asked me what the truth is, and I said, no, I don't believe so. I said, once you have it, you always have it. I said, it's whether or not you put the time in to recognize what the issue is so that you can deal with it and rebound quicker. If you ever find yourself in a position where you're having a struggle and you do have a slip caused by a trigger, it's very important that you stay in the moment and understand tomorrow is a new day and you can always start again, or even the next moment. It's, I really believe that's the proper way to look at these things, because, I would imagine if you've put X amount of years in and all of a sudden you have a problem and you have a slip and you got to start again, you can get quite depressed. But if you have the motivation, well, maybe motivation isn't the right word, but if you've built up that skill set over that length of time, done it once, you can always do it again and extend it. The question is never if you fall back down, but is if you get back up, right? Maybe just take a step back and look at what you've done and where you perceive a failure would be, and try and make the adjustments to correct it. And it may be, going through another rehab program, seeking more counseling, some more guidance, reaching out to family, friends, reaching out to people in a program you may belong to. But it's never, you should never give up. It's extremely important. It's extremely important. I mean, I know myself, some days are better than others and some days are worse, but I remind myself that tomorrow I'm always going to be able to get up again, and I can make some sort of difference in just being kind to myself and being kind to others. It's extremely important. I hope this little chat helps somebody and you can dust yourself off. And like John Wayne said, the definition of courage is being scared to death and hopping on that saddle and riding anyways, right? You got to give her, never give up. Okay? Love you all. That's my pep talk for today. Remember, the most important thing to be a good person, good stoic, and whatever your is just to be kind. Be kind to yourself. Bye-bye.